new CBS next Monday, 10/9 Central.
Elsbeth is all new CBS Thursday at 10/9 Central and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Normal highs for the Marquette area in the 40s, and we're not going to drop below the 50s as we head on through tonight. Rest of the forecast coming up.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, we have more updates on the wildfire still burning in Baraga County. Responders are making progress on putting out the flames. Plus, a group in Gladstone is hoping to change how the city handles funding improvement projects. We'll hear from both sides on what the changes could mean for the area. And Kamala Harris and Tim Walz make a visit to Ann Arbor, trying to win over Michigan voters in the final stretch of the election. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Well, mostly cloudy skies for tomorrow and the sun in here for the afternoon. Can't rule out a few morning drops, and the winds will start to diminish as well. But it's a southerly flow. That means some warmer temperatures, probably getting close to 70 by the afternoon, way above normal there. Even the cool spots will be in the mid-60s here. Perhaps a few morning showers, particularly east of Marquette into Sault Ste. Marie. Rest of the forecast coming up later in the show. Kevin, back to you.
Thanks, Tom. The Summit Lake fire in Baraga County continues to burn as high winds and warmer than average temperatures persist in the area. The Forest Service has 44 firefighters on the scene with firefighting aircraft on standby. According to the officials with the Ottawa National Forest, the blaze is 38% contained, having consumed 308 acres as of today. Closures are in effect for the northern half of the McCormick Wilderness, including the Yellow Dog Trailhead. With warm weather and strong winds in excess of 30 miles per hour forecasted for the next few days, fire activity is expected to continue. The Summit Lake fire was first detected on October 18th and is 12 miles north of Michigami. A Gladstone ballot proposal could change the way the city funds improvement projects. Our Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons tells us that what those are for and against the proposal want voters to know.
The city's used special assessments from as far back as the 60s, 70s to partially supplement road improvements, infrastructure improvements.
But a proposed amendment to the city's charter would take away the city's power to collect millages through special assessments. The proposal is the work of the Gladstone Citizens Council, a group of people who came together after a special assessment was implemented in their neighborhood in 2020.
We couldn't understand how it could be so much that was going to be added to our taxes. The way special assessments are supposed to work is they do look at the value of a property before and after, and the increase in value is what you'll be charged, which seems fair. Well, we found out that they did not do a market study at all. They just made up a number of what they needed to fill the budget.
However, the manager of Gladstone says the city has always been extremely fair when levying special assessments.
Usually the city uses their Act 51 monies and pays about 80% of the bill, and then the remaining 20% we split up amongst the property owners according to their frontage. We give them anywhere from 6 to 8 years to pay back the assessment.
If the proposal passes, officials say the city would have to introduce a referendum to fund road work.
The majority of our funding that we take in taxes goes towards police and fire protection. A lot of our other funds are all restricted. The money has to be used within those funds, not to mention that it would leave us with debt that would have to be repaid from the former special assessments.
Once you get your street paved, you're usually good for 25 years. And I just got my street paved last year, and now I find out I have to pay 3 mils on everybody's road. I don't know if I'd be happy.
But the Citizens Council believes that decision should be up to the voters.
They're bypassing the people, and they're saying this is what you're going to pay. It's important for people to vote whenever taxes go up, and this is a tax.
To read the full ballot proposal, visit WZMQ19.com. Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Gladstone.
A Delta County judge has dismissed a small claims case against the Delta Conservation District by its former CEO. Rory Matson sued the district for $4,000 over ownership of a dump trailer, which was purchased jointly by the district, the county parks, and Matson in 2016. After hearing both sides of the issue and evaluating evidence, the judge dismissed Matson's case due to a lack of jurisdiction, citing a state law that says political subdivisions of the state cannot be a party in small claims court. Matson has another lawsuit against the district yet to go to court regarding a breach of contract and payments he says the former board approved. WZMQ 19 will continue to follow that story as it develops. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz made an appearance together at a rally in Ann Arbor tonight as they continue to try to win over the Michigan vote. Tim Walz commented on the young age of the crowd and delivered a pep talk about the election, saying, "We got to admit it, this game is tied." He called on everyone to step on the gas and put in effort to get Kamala Harris elected.
Minutes left on the clock. We got the ball. We're driving down the field. We're doing the blocking and everything we need to do. And I know you got a saying around here that came from Bo. The team, the team, the team. And boy, do we have the right team.
Harris also addressed the young people in the crowd, saying there were many young people in attendance. She said she loves the young generation because they are impatient for change and that they are so involved because it is their lived experience.
So I love your generation. I really do. And one of the things about it is you are rightly impatient for change. I love that about you. You are impatient for change because, look, you have only known the climate crisis and are leading then the charge to protect our planet and our future.
Over 250,000 Michiganders cast their ballots over the first weekend of early in-person voting. On Saturday, county clerks reported over 100,000 voters had cast their ballots statewide before 1 p.m. Marquette County alone logged over 1,500 voters over the weekend. The Ingham County clerk downstate says that after running trials during the primaries, early voting sites are ready for record-breaking numbers of voters this week.
Whether that was hiring and training election workers, precinct workers, programming the election, ordering ballots for the locals, and then the locals doing the work to mail out those absentee ballots. We have been working on this election for months.
If you would like to vote early in person, you can find your polling location online at michigan.gov/vote. WZMQ and Goodwill are once again partnering up for Operation Warm Up, hoping to get warm clothes for UP residents for the winter months. We spoke with the president and CEO of Goodwill Industries about our mission and what people looking to help need to know. Here's part of our conversation from Insights earlier today.
Well, it started last year. We decided on a collaboration with you guys, and so this year it'll be our second year, and we've corrected some things, made some adjustments. It'll be from November 17th through the 20th. All 5 of our stores in the UP and Wisconsin will be participating during those hours. So it's a combination of clothes and other cash donations. Every week, month, quarter, we have things like Roundup, and I'm throwing that out there because we ask organizations in need to come to us, and we round up. And last year we generated about $50,000 and we contributed back to the community. So this is just another step in that process, and our natural process is to collect clothes and redistribute, and this is a great way to collaborate and be more specific. This year we're working with the Tri-County Safe Harbor, out of Escanaba, Room at the Inn here in Marquette, and Jansen House. Those are the 3 organizations. So.
Excellent. And along with donating clothes, you can also round up at the register, right?
Yes, sir. Round up. It happens and those will be posted at the registers, and the cashiers hopefully will ask for those roundups, and then we will match those dollars. Last year was about $2,500 in those 3 days, so it was a good contribution.
Excellent, absolutely. So, yeah, it sounds like we did pretty well last year.
We did great.
Think?
First start, right out of the box. Why not? It'll get better every year. So, for us, we look at the community. Our communities in the UP are fantastic, and it's an easy way to give your old clothes or utensils or plates and apparel, and then, of course, cash. Cash is always accepted.
For sure, yeah, and we're getting into the colder months, so a lot of people are going to be needing these warmer clothes. Can you tell us any other items that you think people would need specifically for these colder months?
Well, hats, mitts, gloves, boots, and we will typically extra contribute some new goods to that, which is socks and hats and toques. Those are the things of that nature. So depending on the need of the organization, we'll help out.
Tom DeVecchio has your first warning weather forecast when we come back. Plus, we take a look at how organizations are working to get food to hungry families across the U.S. And a survivor of a mosquito-borne illness is speaking out on his experience with the virus and how it's still affecting him to this day. We're back in 2 minutes.
John's Auto has been voted the #1 dealer to buy pre-owned vehicle for longer than I've been alive. If you're looking for a vehicle, or if you're looking for someone to help with your current car, or if you need to get yours looking like new again, come see us at John's Auto Sales and Service, Marquette.
I was having a miscarriage and the bleeding wouldn't stop. Doctors made a split-second decision to perform an abortion. It saved my life and allowed me to have another baby. Carl Bonac wants politicians to make those decisions for women. He'd outlaw nearly all abortions. I work for Gen Hill because we need leaders who trust women and doctors. And I won't let extreme politicians like Carl Bonac leave my daughter with fewer rights than I've had.
Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Kamala wouldn't change a thing? Their weakness invited wars, welfare for illegals, while Americans struggle. Now Kamala wants higher taxes on top of higher prices. We can't afford 4 more years of Kamala.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Senate candidate Mike Rogers. What do we know? After 20 years as a politician, Rogers left Michigan, cashed in on his D.C. connections, bought a Florida mansion and 2 yachts. How? Selling us out to China? Wait, he was chief security advisor for a company trying to give the Chinese access to U.S. networks. Now he's even been caught lying about not living in Michigan? Wow. Mike, China, Florida, who are you?
I'm Melissa Slotkin, and I approve this message.
Is your parents' car sounding funny? Do you hear any clunks, rattles, squeaks, or leaks? Tell them to call John's Auto Service Department for fast, friendly, and affordable service. Come see us at John's Auto Sales and Service, Marquette.
Now, WZMQ TV19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Tom DeVecchio.
Temperature-wise, it's a great start to the week. We're looking at some warming temperatures here. Normal highs for Marquette this time of year in the mid-40s. So when we see temperatures near 70, you got something going here, and it will be warming up. Even Wednesday with some showers still looks fairly mild. And then those more normal October, almost November-like temperatures will be coming up later on in the week, middays. Kids go to school for tomorrow, cloudy skies. I can't rule out a few drops of rain, not enough where you have to have a raincoat on, I think, but definitely on the chilly side. They're not as cool as the usual 30s and low 40s that we would normally have here. Temperatures near 70 as the kids go home in the afternoon. We're looking at breezy conditions and partly sunny skies overall, so pretty decent as kids go home in the afternoon. As for futurecasts, we cloud up again for the balance of tonight. A couple of showers popping up here again from Newberry toward Sault Ste. Marie. And those clouds will hang tough tomorrow morning with some sunshine breaking out by mid to late afternoon. And that will really help our temperatures move up quickly to near about 70 degrees. And then another round of a few showers come in for Tuesday night. And by Wednesday, this line of showers that we can see just on the western fringes of the map, that will spread across the area, giving us some wet conditions for Wednesday, and then ushering in that more cooler seasonal temperatures to round out the month of October. And looks kind of chilly, and it could be a little wet for trick-or-treaters on Halloween. Tonight, though, southerly winds keeping our temperatures up and pretty good there. They'll tend to diminish as we go toward tomorrow, again, with down to about 10 miles an hour by the end of the day. And we'll keep the south winds for Wednesday morning. See that, though? We got the northerly winds just coming in there on the west side of Lake Superior. That is a sign of the change to come. So temperatures for tonight, lower to mid-50s. Can't rule out a few of those showers around, particularly in the eastern, let's say eastern third of the Upper Peninsula, east of Marquette. Back to some nice temperatures for tomorrow. A few morning showers, more sun coming out for the afternoon, and temperatures getting into the lower 70s. Rest of the 7-day, we'll have some showers around for Wednesday, Thursday. Not the best of trick-or-treating days. As you can see, we're expecting some rainfall that could still be around in the evening hours, but definitely on the chilly side. Keep it chilly and dry for Friday, with a bit of a rebound in those temperatures as we head toward the weekend, perhaps a few showers around for Sunday and into the day on Monday.
Thanks, Tom. The nonprofit Food Rescue US collects excess healthy food that would have ended up in landfills and distributes it to local agencies. The World Bank is one of their partners. Natalie Bryan looks at how they're working together to combat food insecurity.
On a busy week at the World Bank, the kitchen cranks out up to 8,000 meals. What's not consumed, Chef Nick Cavaretta and his team carefully package and prep for donation to organizations in need.
We love statistics here at the World Bank, so we just get a weight on everything so we can monitor exactly how much food gets donated.
Cavaretta estimates up to 900 pounds any given week, 25,000 pounds over the past year.
You showed us all this beautiful food. It would have been painful to throw it away.
Yeah, of course. I mean, perfectly edible.
Volunteers from the organization Food Rescue USDC pick up the leftovers weekly and deliver them on this day to a facility that provides housing to veterans who have experienced homelessness. Lisa Harris, who served in the Air Force, says when her food stamps run low, this is what fills the fridge.
You may not think it, but you never know when you might be in this position. And I'm telling you, not knowing where your food is going to come from, not knowing what you're going to eat, it's hard. It's very hard. And we are appreciative.
Kate Urbank of Food Rescue US's Washington, D.C. chapter says her group serves a dual mission, fighting hunger and climate change by keeping the food out of landfills and redirecting it to nonprofits.
When you think about the fact that 30 to 40% of food is wasted and over 45 million people live in households experiencing food insecurity, it just makes a lot of sense to do the match.
For institutions like the World Bank, where ending poverty is the mission, it's a win-win.
If you can just help one person, it would be like a shame not to do that.
When you got food like this, people, please donate.
Lisa Harris hopes more organizations heed the call.
Food Rescue US is active in 23 states, including Michigan. There's a federal law, the Good Samaritan Food Donation Act, which provides protection for people, organizations, and companies who donate food in good faith. A New Hampshire man is speaking out, warning others about the dangers that come from a mosquito bite. Joe Casey survived Eastern Equine Encephalitis, or EEE. At least 30% of people who get it die from it. Paul Burton has the story.
Every step Joe Casey takes reminds him of just how far he's come. During the summer, the 55-year-old from Kensington, New Hampshire, got bit by a mosquito and became deathly ill.
I fell down in my living room and kind of blacked out. And then my sons and my mother-in-law got me to the hospital.
What were you diagnosed with?
Triple E, and then they also tested for St. Louis and West Nile, so I got all three.
He was in Exeter Hospital's ICU for 3 weeks and in a coma. For weeks, his family was not sure if he would pull through.
My wife was told by the nurse, you better get your kids in here to see him right now because we're not sure. So it was pretty scary.
When he got out of the ICU, he says it was like starting over again.
So I wasn't capable of pretty much doing everything. I couldn't walk, talk, comb my hair, or anything like that. Couldn't get out of bed.
We were incredibly scared.
His wife of 24 years was by his side the whole time and now assisting him with his rehab.
To have him walking on his own is amazing. He's worked so hard, and we're really proud of him.
Joe says he still has 10 more weeks of outpatient rehab, all from a simple mosquito bite, which is why he's speaking out now about the dangers of Triple E.
Don't underestimate the size of the villain here, whatever. You just have to be ready and be prepared. You're taking your kids to ballparks, whatever. Please douse them with DEET, douse yourself with DEET, and stay alert. Most grateful for my family, for the support, the love, for the Lord for blessing me. Obviously, there's a blessing behind this. And yeah, just getting a second chance at life.
Joe says he has a long road to recovery, but he's in a better place.
Most people infected with the disease do not become ill, but symptoms can range from mild to severe, including fever, fatigue, neck stiffness, tremors, and confusion. And still to come on your 19 News, McDonald's is returning certain burgers back to their menus following an E. coli outbreak that left one person dead and many others sick. We'll be right back after this.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it.
He did it. It was pretty devastating.
He is bragging about the rights that he stole from American women, and Trump is promising to do more. In Project 2025,
they are restricting birth control,
tracking pregnant women, enforcing a nationwide abortion ban. The government should get out of my business. Stay out of my business.
That's not the government's business. In America, women make their own decisions.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
I'm Alyssa Slotkin. It's been a long campaign, so let's cut through the noise. I want to be your senator because I understand what it means to serve. 3 tours in Iraq alongside the military, working for 2 presidents, 1 from each party. And I know what it means to be tested, fighting the insurance companies when my mom battled cancer. Look, no one knows the future. What I can tell you is I will always say what I mean and mean what I say. That's who I am. It's why I'm asking for your vote and why I approve this final message.
Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Kamala wouldn't change a thing? Their weakness invited wars, welfare for illegals, while Americans struggle. Now Kamala wants higher taxes on top of higher prices. We can't afford 4 more years of Kamala.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
This week on The Late Show, Steven's got Robin Wright, Seth Meyers, Kieran Culkin, Nicole Schertzinger, and Tom Hanks.
That is a true story!
New this week on CBS.
Top investigators and police use the latest forensic science to uncover the truth and solve real cases. The devil is always in the details. Forensic Factor.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. More companies are requiring employees to return to the workplace instead of working from home. Amazon recently mandated a 5-day in-office work week. Other companies are also changing their work from home rules. A recent survey found about 1 in 5 employees say they're ignoring their company's return to office policy.
We know that the companies are very serious about it. That does not mean that people don't have some flexibility here, but that needs to begin with a conversation with your manager, not just a choice that you make on your own.
LinkedIn says these days only about 20% of job listings are remote or hybrid. McDonald's is bringing back the Quarter Pounder back to all of its restaurants this week after a deadly E. coli outbreak. The company pulled the burger from 900 locations after 75 people got sick and 1 of them died. McDonald's says a test of its beef patties found no sign of infection. The FDA believes slivered onions from a single supplier caused the problem, and McDonald's is confident the contamination has been removed from the supply chain. But for now, the Quarter Pounders will come without onions at the affected restaurants. Consumer watchdog groups say customers should feel safe eating at McDonald's.
You know, I'm sure that McDonald's is doing more testing than a lot of other restaurants right now. And so if they're testing their beef and they say it's good, then you can trust that. I mean, there are a lot of foods that we eat every single day. We get from the grocery store or at restaurants that are not necessarily tested as well as everything probably is at McDonald's right now.
Teresa Murray is with the Public Interest Research Group. She says there has only been a slight uptick in the number of recalls this year, even though it may feel like there's been a lot. She says that's because recent recalls like Boar's Head meat and frozen waffles and pancakes have involved higher profile brands with people getting sick. The average American family spends more than $1,500 a year on their pets. But as animal lovers know, some lavish far more to give their pets the best. Bradley Blackburn reports on how companies are going to the dogs and finding success.
On a morning in New York, Greta Nagy and her Dalmatian Ollie are out for a stroll.
He's the best. He's a very special dog.
Ollie's routine includes a walk and then a ride. he's a frequent passenger in the pet cab, where seats are set up for those with 4 legs.
I think he likes going on the rides. The window's down and, you know, he likes it.
The bright yellow cab with paw prints instead of checkers was created by Elliot Levenglick. He started Pet Cab NYC because for owners without their own cars, moving a pet can be tough. There are strict rules for mass transit, and regular taxis can refuse animals.
There's a big opportunity there, and a lot of people are pet owners.
Uber and Lyft also offer pet rides, but the animal's owner must also be in the car. Pet Cab NYC and a handful of other companies across the nation offer transportation for pets who are alone. It's driven by demand. In the U.S., spending on pet care services like boarding or sitting has almost doubled since 2020.
A pet becomes a part of your family, and so as a result of that, people will invest a lot of their time and their money into their pet because it's just a loved one that they sometimes care more about than their family members.
Since launching, Levenglick has added cars and drivers and is now looking to expand to more cities. Ollie took his cab to doggy daycare, joining a pack of happy pups. For owner Greta, it's all worth it.
Does Pet Cab just make it easy?
Yeah, it makes it extremely easy. My personal expenses the dogs have taken over.
Man's best friend on the move as spending on pets speeds up.
Pet Cab says its primary passengers are dogs, but they've also carried cats, birds, lizards, and more all around New York City. A teenage surfer hopes to make some big waves in California next month as he goes for gold at a world championship as a blind competitor. Tina Kraus has this inspiring story from London.
The sound of the waves and the feel of the water are what Ben Newman connects with as he trains for the World Parasurfing Championships in a wave pool in Germany. You can tell a lot from the sound of a wave, he says, and I often put my hand in the water to feel if I'm going faster or slowing down. Newman lost his sight at age 6 because of a genetic defect, and at 13, he told his parents he wanted to surf. Now his father is his coach, helping him navigate his dream, using wireless headphones to communicate when and where a wave is coming. He says our world collapsed at first when we found out Ben was blind, but we decided as a family to make a break for it and go on with life.
Ben Neumann up and running.
The 19-year-old just won the first parasurfing competition held on German waves and says the thrill of hearing crowds go wild drowns out the limits of sight. In a way, surfing is also therapy for me, he says. Achieving something like this gives me self-confidence in my everyday life. He'll carry that confidence to California next month as he goes for gold, sensing his way to victory one wave at a time.
Ben hopes surfing will be part of the 2028 Paralympics in Los Angeles to maybe add a Paralympic medal to his collection. Tom has your final look at weather. When we come back, he tells us what we can expect for our morning commutes, and a unique auction offers the opportunity to own important items from rock and roll's history. That's coming up when we come back.
Is your child suffering from ADHD, anxiety, depression, or the inability to focus? NeuroFit Marquette offers personalized neurofeedback training to address these challenges. Our tailored approach aims for optimal brain function and wellness. Call 906-235-0561 to start your journey to better sleep and improve mood today.
Senate candidate Mike Rogers. What do we know? After 20 years as a politician, Rogers left Michigan, cashed in on his D.C. connections, bought a Florida mansion and 2 yachts. How? Selling us out to China? Wait, he was chief security advisor for a company trying to give the Chinese access to U.S. networks. Now he's even been caught lying about not living in Michigan. Wow. Mike, China, Florida, who are you?
I'm Melissa Slotkin, and I approve this message.
Enjoy spectacular savings all month long at Richardson Jewelers, downtown Marquette. Come to the store to get your spooky scratch-off tickets with instant savings between 20 to 40% off. Every case and shelf is full for my trip to the largest jewelry show in the world. October is the perfect month to say boo to your boo with the gift of gold and diamonds with spectacular savings exclusively at Richardson Jewelers, downtown Marquette.
Richardson Jewelers.
Donald Trump has always wanted unchecked power.
I have the right to do whatever I want as president.
And with Project 2025, he'll get it. No guardrails. This time, he will eliminate protections for pre-existing conditions, and he'll cut Social Security and Medicare to give more tax cuts to billionaires. Donald Trump is more unhinged and unstable than ever. If we give him total power, he'll put everything at risk.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Are you or a loved one feeling tired, irritable, or struggling with sleep? NeuroFit Marquette can help. Our personalized neurofeedback programs target anxiety, depression, and ADHD, aiming for the best outcomes. Call 906-235-0561 today and take the first step toward optimal brain function and wellness with NeuroFit Marquette.
Skies will be mostly cloudy for the balance of the night. Can't rule out some scattered showers here and there. Temperatures not bad, considering normal highs are in the 40s. And it looks like we're not going to drop below the lower to mid 50s for many of you as we head toward daybreak on Tuesday. And that will lead to some nice warm temperatures tomorrow. Many of you breaking 70, even well into the mid to upper 60s. Even the cool spots like Eagle Harbor, with the influence of the colder Lake Superior, should get into the lower 60s. Clouds, a few showers in the morning, more sun breaking out, particularly in the middle to late afternoon hours. After that, we're back to some rain as we head toward Wednesday. Still pretty mild. They'll come in primarily during the afternoon. And Halloween, ending October on a cold, rainy note. Not the best of weather for the trick-or-treaters. Then partly cloudy for Friday into Saturday. And a bit of a rebound in those temperatures for the upcoming weekend. Kevin?
Thanks, Tom. And finally tonight, you can own a piece of rock and roll history for a price. The guitar George Harrison played more than 300 times with the Beatles from 1959 to 1964 is one of the featured items hitting the auction block next month. It could fetch $600,000 to $800,000. Julian's Auctions is previewing many of the items at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York through Sunday. They include signed guitars played by Eddie Van Halen and Eric Clapton, an outfit worn by Britney Spears, and Moonman Trophy awarded for Madonna's Ray of Light video.
It's our second annual played, worn and torn auction. Over 860 items going on the auction block.
The auction is expected to bring in up to $4 million in revenues. It will be held online and live in Nashville on November 20th and 21st. That's all we have for now. We'll see you tomorrow.
Kamala Harris supports EV mandates, killing Michigan jobs. She wants to end all gas-powered cars. Crazy but true. Harris's push requiring electric only is failing big, and Michigan auto workers